Brooklyn, which we all agree is the capital of the world, we set the stage for the rest of the city to raise their voices on behalf of our cause. So let's make sure that the rest of the city hears us loud and clear all the day today. And I will start with the punchline, actually, by telling you that this year you've already broken the record. Last year, the full accounting of this walk was $125,000. As of this morning, we opened the door at $130,000. We had more than twice as many walkers and more teams. So I've got to congratulate everybody, and we're not there yet, right? What we're looking for is to become the largest small walk, we're calling them, for our national association throughout the country. And I think we can get there if we can get to 150. So I'm encouraging everybody to sort of get your friends involved. We still have time. It's a fabulous opportunity. And every dollar goes to support the free programs and services that the New York City chapter provides for all New York City residents. I want to give a special thanks to our Brooklyn sponsors, Grimaldi and Young, also the best cheerleaders at the moment in Brooklyn, right? Health First, Bloomberg, Sephardic Nursing Home and Rehabilitation, Gray Matters, and our best friends across the way, they are Nathan's Hot Dogs. Be sure to get one before you go back. I know that my granddaughter and I will certainly make sure that we do that. That's a tradition. I thank our Brooklyn Walk Committee. Please raise your hands, Brooklyn Walk Committee, if you happen to be anywhere nearby. There we go. Without whom none of this would have been possible. You can't imagine how much work they put in to make today a possible thing. Let's give them a Brooklyn cheer, actually. Let's do that. Okay. And it wouldn't be a New York City chapter walk unless I thank the Weather Committee for bringing us, at the very least, a great spectacular few hours to get this done, and hopefully a great spectacular day for all of you for the rest of the day. I'd like to introduce two of our New York City chapter board members. Ben Jenkins here, wave your hand, there we go, and Pauline Young-Ha, who is over here, part of the Grimaldi and Young team. Good, thank you guys for joining us this morning. Now I'd like to take a moment, if I could, to remember those that we honor today. I walk to honor my father, Joseph Greenberg, and my mother, Marilyn Greenberg, who was his dedicated and loving caregiver for 12 years. We walk to honor all those in our community who are struggling to keep up with the relentless demand of dementia care. And I walk to honor the members of the medical and research community who are working so hard to find effective therapies. And I walk to honor you and your communities, because an Alzheimer's diagnosis, we all know, is not just a problem for an individual, but for entire families, for entire communities, for all New Yorkers, and for all Americans, because without an effective therapy in a few short years, our already fragile healthcare system will fail under the burden of Alzheimer's care. I've been giving walk speeches for 10 years, and I think it's time to really raise our voices. Let's make this walk season and this year the year we send a really clear and loud message to our elected officials that every 67 seconds now, an American develops Alzheimer's disease. It's now the 6th leading cause of death in the United States and the only one in the top 10 without an effective therapy. Do we want a future in which 1 out of every 5 New Yorkers will either have Alzheimer's or be taking care of someone who does? Because that is what the future looks like if nothing is done. And I'm waiting for someone to make a movie about it. With all these movies in the future, this would be a really interesting movie to make. In 2004, when I took this job, we had a robust economy and we were fighting for our share. 4 years later, we had a major downturn and we had to fight harder. Today, as the economy recovers, thanks to all of you, the New York City chapter is stronger than ever. But New Yorkers need us more than ever. So we're working hard to meet a 140% increase over the last year in the demand for our programs. Your work in helping us to raise public awareness has brought people to the door that need our support. Whatever's ahead, we have to fight for resources, for funding for research and care. And the only resources that we have to fight that fight, the weapons that we have, are your voices. Many of you have been helped by our staff at a time of great need, so Candace has suggested you stop by the chapter table and get the updated information, one of which is a program we call DementiaAids.org. Some of you are familiar with Match.com and other programs like that. You're all nodding. I can see these are very popular programs. We created something called DementiaAids.org to match up families that need a home care worker, a trained dementia care worker. and those people who have been trained by the chapter to provide the best possible care. And it's creating a real opportunity for us to move things faster for families that need our help. More importantly, locally, I'd like you all to meet Lorna Walcott-Brown. Lorna, come on up here and join me for a minute, right? Lorna is a dedicated Brooklyn care consultant. She'll be at the chapter table throughout the morning. She's here to help Brooklyn and others every day, all day. And she's helping us expand our growing local resources in this important borough so we can reach more families when they need us, where they live. So here's the 2014 call to action. When you leave here today, it's not over, right? Please donate generously today and throughout the year. Please volunteer to help us in your community. Please advocate for us. Sign up as an advocate. And make sure the elected officials hear your agenda. And a reminder, just that we do have an advocate table, I believe, and you can sign up right at the table. For those of you who are on any form of social media, and I'd like to list them, but we'd be here all day, but I'm going to talk the easy ones. If you're tweeting, if you're on LinkedIn or your Facebook page, or you take lots of selfies and you love to do that, send them all to your friends and make sure that you put things on your page that recognizes your connection to our work. You can't imagine in this day and age how helpful that can be to us. So again, over 1,000 walkers have raised $130,000 as of right now. We have over 400 teams. You're allowing us to continue to deliver our programs free of charge to all of the people in this borough and in New York that need them. I'm here to thank you. That's why I come out. Have a great walk. And now it's my pleasure to introduce my colleague, the guy who really does the heavy lifting, our eminent Executive Vice President of Programs and Services, Jed Levine.
Thank you. Thank you, Llewellyn. Good morning, everybody, and welcome. So glad to be here back in Brooklyn. I'm a Brooklyn boy and happy to be back in the center of the world. As you know, as we celebrate the Walk to End Alzheimer's, in the United States, more than 5 million people are living with Alzheimer's disease, and over 15 million individuals are serving as their unpaid caregivers. The cost of Alzheimer's is escalating into the hundreds of billions of dollars, and its prevalence continues to grow. We're here today because this disease has already gone too far. We're here today because we know that together we can go further by walking toward methods of treatment, prevention, and ultimately a cure, and by continuing to pause and provide and enhance care and support programs to help all those affected. So are you with me in this fight? Yes. Great, okay. Whether you want to honor your friends or family, a caregiver or person living with the disease, or to slow rising healthcare costs and put a stop to this global epidemic, we all have a reason to end Alzheimer's, and that includes me. I can tell by looking out into the crowd that I'm not the only one with a reason to end Alzheimer's. Who's ready to put a stop to this devastating illness? All of us. So leading the way in Brooklyn this year have been a few committed people who have been tirelessly promoting and spreading the word about the walk since the spring. I'd like to take this opportunity to acknowledge and thank our Brooklyn Walk Volunteer Committee and to invite the co-chairs Amberly Cusimano and Marina Grimaldi to come up and say a few words.
Good morning. On behalf of the Brooklyn Walk co-chairs, we would like to thank Suzanne and Candice and the rest of the New York City chapter for their work on the walk this year. We would also like to thank the Brooklyn Walk Committee, especially Terry Cusimano, Judith Grimaldi and Pauline Young, and Shayla McGrady, as well as Gabrielle Mangano. Thank you for your time and commitment over the past few years. I walk today for my grandmother, Mary, who continues to fight this disease every day with a smile and a dance. Thank you.
Let's give a big hand to our devoted volunteer committee. They're wearing the yellow t-shirts today, and I want to thank all of our volunteers who are actually wearing the orange shirts today, and the staff members who came out on this fine Brooklyn Sunday morning to help us make this event a great success. We'd also like to thank the Parks Department and the government agencies who allow us to be here today, and of course a special thank you to all the elected officials who serve as honorary chairs of this event, who recognize that the time is now and Alzheimer's disease must be a priority. Finally, a big thank you to our national teams who are committed to joining forces across the country to recruit teams and raise dollars critical to funding our missions, including Sunrise Assisted Living, who are proudly walking alongside us today as Team Sunrise Steppers of Sheepheads Bay. Are they here? They're here somewhere. And finally, a huge thank you and congratulations to our top individual fundraiser to date, who is a repeat top fundraiser, Ingrid Posniak, who's raised over $7,000 this year. And a special thank you to our top fundraising team to date, Team Grimaldi and Young, and a special shout out to our number 2 top fundraising team, Team Remember Conchetta, who have both raised over $12,000 for the Brooklyn Walk to End Alzheimer's this year. That's a lot of money, guys. Give them a big hand. Together, all of us here have already raised over $130,000, and you all deserve a round of applause. So now I applaud all of you. Congratulations. But remember, the fight isn't over. We all must continue to fundraise and fight until we live in a world without Alzheimer's. And now I turn it back over to Jed Levine.
Thank you, Candace. So the association is committed to advancing the fight here through our services like our 24-hour helpline, our support groups, our education programs, our website. And as the leading voice for Alzheimer's, we rally a nationwide network of advocates to speak up for the needs and rights of those facing the disease. More than 380,000 people in New York State have Alzheimer's disease and are supported by over 1 million caregivers who annually provide more than 1.15 million hours of unpaid care. We deeply appreciate your time this morning and your help in raising essential funds that further the Alzheimer's cause. And after we wrap up this great day, we hope that you'll continue to spread the word and ask your friends, family, and co-workers to continue to donate and support you, because Alzheimer's disease is not going to back down, neither should we. Speaking of refusing to back down, I'd like to introduce you to a very brave man who's been speaking out about his personal battle with Alzheimer's disease. Please welcome Jacob Buddy Kenner. Jacob, who carries a blue flower, currently suffers from frontotemporal dementia. But Buddy was an entrepreneur, small business owner, and proud and dedicated teacher of theater. A loyal fan of the San Francisco 49ers, Notre Dame, and Bob Dylan. A devoted son, husband, father, brother, friend, uncle, and grandfather, Buddy's infectious spirit and deep love for his family have inspired and encouraged them to make a positive influence in their community. He's here today to show that while the road ahead of him may be uncertain, right now the disease cannot silence his voice or stop him from being with all of us today to help countless others. Jacob and his family and friends on Team My Buddy and Me join us at the walk to end Alzheimer's for themselves and over 5 million others. Thank you, Buddy.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
I appreciate that.
Okay, stay here. As you look around, you'll notice orange, yellow, purple, and blue flowers. These flowers highlight the different reasons we have to be here today, our reasons to end Alzheimer's. The orange flower represents people like Greg Moran. Greg is here today as a member of the Brooklyn Nets organization, which is dedicated to participating in their hometown Brooklyn community, and because he supports the cause and the vision of a world without Alzheimer's. He has seen too many people lose their battle with this disease in isolation and knows that by coming together, we can be a force for change. If you have an orange flower, please join Greg in raising it now. Thank you. The yellow flower represents people like Deanne and Nora. Deanne and Nora are here today because they're supporting and caring for someone with Alzheimer's disease. They walk today joined by their husband and father, Matt, who was recently diagnosed with early stage age 61. As a result of his diagnosis, Matt needed to retire from his longtime job as a university professor. Matt and Deanne have traveled from Amherst, Massachusetts today to join their daughter who lives and works in Brooklyn. This is their first of what they hope will be many annual walks to benefit Alzheimer's research. If you have a yellow flower, Please join Deanne and Laura in raising it. The purple flower represents people like Maria Basile. Maria is here today because she has lost her mother, Conchetta, to Alzheimer's disease. Those left to treasure her memories are her loving husband, Giuseppe, her 2 children, Joseph and Maria, 7 grandchildren, daughter-in-law, Debbie, son-in-law, Paul, and many dear friends. Conchetta was a strong, hard-working, loving woman who fully gave of herself to others without expecting anything in return. Maria walks to end Alzheimer's in memory of Conchetta and in honor of all families who have lost someone they dearly love. If you have a purple flower, please raise it today with Maria. So take a look at these 5 people and the symbolic flowers they hold. These individuals represent the promises we have come together to fulfill, a colorful display of the intent to honor, to remember, to care, and to fight. Everyone, continue to hold up your flowers and take a look around you. Regardless of what color you're holding, you are not alone in facing Alzheimer's disease. And you are certainly not alone in this fight. These flowers are our reasons to end Alzheimer's, and this is our fight to win. Together, we will put a stop to the nation's 6th leading cause of death. Together, we will reclaim the future for millions. Who's ready to lead this fight? Let's get ready to start this walk and move closer to the end of Alzheimer's disease. Please join us at the start line, and we'll take a photo, and then we can start the 2014 Walk to End Alzheimer's. Join us at the start line. Thank you.
Thank you all.
No, I mean, get the going now. Yeah, good job.
Yo, hello, Jose was waiting for the led the event with ZBT. It's like Instagram. Ben.
Anytime he wants to talk to you, he's going to ring the bell. I don't know.